Hello again, everybody. Whiskey here, bringing you another Path of Titans video. And this video is a montage of Rex ambushes, and I'm going to discuss why I love the T-Rex so much and what I feel sets it apart from all the other dinosaurs in the game. A lot of people say, man, why do you like the Rex so much? You know, it could be so boring, like you're just waiting around in bushes and with nothing to do, and you're just waiting for somebody to come along so you can ambush them, and there's hours and hours and hours of just waiting and doing nothing, and how can that be any fun? And you know what? I mean, a lot of the Rex life is pretty boring. It can be. Um, Really, it's what you make of it, but there are times that I spend walking around the map for 2 hours at a time without seeing a single other dinosaur that I can hunt. Even when the server's got 110 to 130 people on it, that does happen. But the reason I like it, I guess, is because the contrast to that is that when you do get the ambush, there is a huge sudden rush of adrenaline and excitement that happens, and it's a super high risk and high reward type gameplay. You have to take some pretty good risks sometimes, and a lot of times you can fail at the ambush. Like in this one right here, like these Lambios could have seen me at any second. Any if they saw me anytime when I was in that tree line, they could have just got up and run away, and I would be without a meal. So you have to be very, very patient. Your timing has to be just right. You have to have good camouflage. You have to have good positioning and timing, and there's a lot that goes into a successful ambush, really. And when you have a group like this, for example, you know, there's a lot they can do to prevent you from being successful in your ambush. They can body block, they can run away, they can, and some, depending on your target, sometimes, you know, they can even kill you. But that's a big part of it, is also selecting your target and knowing when to strike. So I started on the Rex because I love the T-Rex in general. I love the dinosaur, and I love everything that we learn about it, you know, year after year. I enjoy learning about all the new discoveries and things like that, and I just like the model. I think it's just this ferocious and fearsome apex predator that I don't think we've ever seen anything like it, or since then, or, you know, before then or since then has there been a more perfect predator, ambush type predator. I think the only thing that comes close is maybe a lion or a tiger, probably a tiger more so than a lion, but in the wild, the tiger can, you know, lurk around through the forest and ambush its prey. So, but I mean, the size of it and its teeth and the looks of it, everything about it is pretty cool. So ever since I was a little kid, I was always fascinated with the T-Rex, and when I found out there was a game, a dinosaur game that you could actually play as a T-Rex, a PvP type game, which I always loved PvP, MMO type games, I was like, yeah, I want to try that. And ever since I've tried it, I've loved every minute of it, and it's been my favorite game ever since. And then another reason I stuck with the Rex is because I found myself playing this game alone a lot of the time. When it first came out, I had a pretty good group of friends, 6, 7 of us that would play pretty regularly, but most of my friends after a few months got bored of the game and stopped playing and moved on to other games, and I never did get bored of it. And so I found myself playing alone a lot, and I found servers like Arizoa where the T-Rex is a solo character, so it kind of fit perfectly with what I was doing. Seems like on any other dinosaur, if you don't have a group with you or a team with you, you're at a huge disadvantage, but with the Rex, that's not the case. You can play a Rex solo in Arizoa and have a really good fighting chance against just about anything that you come across. So that's another reason why I stuck with the Rex. And another thing is it fits in with what I do for work too. I do a big chunk of work in the mornings, and then it usually results in a lot of emails and phone calls that go out that I'm waiting for responses on before I can finish some of my other projects. So I hop on a T-Rex, you know, cruise around, and when I get a body down, I can finish some emails, finish some quotes, do some phone calls and things like that. So it's conducive to my work life as well. And so it's a game that I can actually work and play on simultaneously sometimes. So that it's very good for that as well. Another reason that I really enjoy the Rex is that I can actually, with the Rex, because it moves so slow and there are those really long periods of time where there's not a lot of action going on, I can really soak in and appreciate the environment and the ambiance and the scenery and the sunsets and just the beauty of the game and the world that we are playing in. It's very peaceful and mesmerizing and relaxing, and it is stress relieving, and I do really enjoy that part of it a lot. And then within that calm and relaxing type state, all of a sudden you just get these bursts of sudden excitement and an adrenaline rush when you get to do an ambush on something. It brings you this adrenaline rush like nothing else, and this excitement, and it's mixed in with these long stints of this peaceful kind of almost meditation that you have when you're just walking around slowly through the woods on a Rex, and then you just, like I say, you just get this sudden burst of excitement, and there's something about that that I just love, and I can't match that anywhere else in any other game other than this one. There's some that come close, but this one is actually the best, and just the jump scare and everything that goes along with it, I just love it. So while it can be boring at times, I think the adrenaline rush and the excitement that you get and the joy that those ambush moments bring greatly outweigh the boring moments that you have. Especially, like I said, because you can, in those boring moments, a lot of the time enjoy the scenery, enjoy the other dinosaurs that you come across, and really appreciate the game for what it is. Some of the things that you have to do to be a successful ambusher and Rex player is there's a lot that goes into it. It's more than just jumping a vulnerable creature that can't defend itself. You're super slow on a Rex, and you're very big, and you can be noisy, but you can also be really, really quiet. It's actually deceptively quiet and camouflage sometimes. That's one of the reasons I picked the skin that I have. Is it's very good camouflage in lots of different environments, especially the environments that I stick to, which is typically forests like birchwood. Blends right in with the bushes and the trees. So sometimes I'm just standing still in the trees, and I'm not even crouching or trying to hide or anything, and players don't even see me. Like, they'll walk right up to me. There's a clip in this montage here where a Giga just ran right up to me. He didn't even see me, and I was able to ambush him that way. And so you have to know the map. You have to have good map knowledge. A lot of people just pick a spot and hide there for hours, and you can do that. You can pick there are some good ambush spots. So sometimes I may sit in an ambush spot and watch YouTube, or read some emails or something like that for half an hour, 45 minutes before something comes walking along, and then you can ambush it. That is one way to do it. But my main way that I play is I do a patrol, and I have a couple of 3 different routes that I do. And I'll walk those routes, and along the routes there's watering holes and thoroughfares and pathways and areas that I know are popular for traffic, for foot traffic, and I usually will run into stuff in those patrols that I do. So you have to get to know the map and figure out where those traffic areas are. There's areas that are like transition points, and there's like bottlenecks and things around the map where dinosaurs like to, people like to play where they're going from one area to the next, and they'll take a bridge, or they'll take a certain path, or there's areas where there's not a lot of water, so they're forced to go to a watering hole, and you can check all those areas. Waystones is another good place. Now at the waystones, I make sure I don't attack the stuff that's like just waystoned in and still laying down and totally defenseless. There are players that do that. I personally don't think that that's a good, decent way to play. I think it's actually pathetic gameplay to do that. There's zero challenge in it. All you're doing is ruining somebody's time that can't even defend themselves, and I don't see the point in that at all. I think that's like bully-like behavior, and I really don't think anybody should do that type of thing. But you can wait for like a whole pack of aloes to waystone in, and then as they're leaving, you can ambush them. That's totally fair and legit gameplay in my opinion. And so while I'm on that topic real quick, I'm just going to touch on this quickly. Somebody said something to me about, after I made a comment about how I don't understand that type of gameplay. I don't understand players that literally just all they do is wait around all day for a vulnerable, super easy target, like they're waiting around specifically for somebody that's already hurt, or for somebody that they can just go kill in one shot. And I see them around all the time. Like, they'll literally just wait on a rock somewhere, and they've got plenty of targets everywhere else, that like challenging things that they could go hunt and fight, and instead they wait for the Rex that's a one shot, or they wait for the baby that comes by, like the real easy stuff that takes no challenge. And somebody said, well, those players, maybe they don't have the confidence, and so the only thing that they can do is attack AFK or sleeping babies. And I'm just like, okay, that's a pathetic, ridiculous cop-out of a response, in my opinion. Because if that's the case, and they don't have the confidence to do it, they don't have to go choose an actual player that is defenseless and ruin that player's time and force that player to go regrow their whole dinosaur. They could go get an AI carcass. It literally takes the same exact amount of skill to bite an AI carcass, and it nets the exact same result. You get food out of it. So if you don't have the confidence to go fight players, then go eat an AI carcass. Go practice on that. There's a lot of other things you can practice on, and that'll actually make you better than focusing on AFK players. I think that type of behavior is pathetic, and all it is putting somebody else out, and there's no other purpose for it. Not practicing, not trying to gain confidence. It isn't going to make you any better at the game. There's really no good purpose for that type of gameplay. So I think that's just a cop-out and a lame excuse, personally. So sorry, I just had to rant on that. So talking about picking a target, and just to touch on the fact that, yeah, in some of these clips, I am attacking juveniles or adolescents, and somebody might say, well, aren't you a hypocrite for telling people that it's pathetic to attack vulnerable babies or sleeping creatures when we see you in these clips doing that? No, the reason it's not hypocritical is because in the targets that I choose, they're players that have easy chance to get away. I'm ambushing, they can see me at any time, and they can run away, get into a cave, hide. I mean, they have a very good fighting chance, and they're very fast and squirrely. And that's the difference between that and purposely choosing somebody that can't fight back, like an AFK player. Like the trike in this clip, for example, when I snuck up to it, I could tell that they weren't paying attention and they couldn't see me, so I knew it was a good target. After the battle was over, they told me that they were AFK. But at the time, I bit it a couple of times, and then it started fighting me, and it actually put up a really good fight. So to me, that's not really an AFK quote-unquote player, and there's no way I would have known they were AFK. Now, had they just stood there and not done anything, then yeah, I would have stopped, because I could tell obviously they're not fighting back. So what's the point? I don't want to do something that's not going to give me a challenge. So anyway, you got to pick your targets, pick them wisely. I say pick a challenging target, but it's risky. Sometimes they get away, sometimes they can kill you. So when you're first starting out, I would say start smaller. Start with the adolescents. Make sure it's something that has a fighting chance, something that can run away or fight back. Not the AFK sleeping one, but an adolescent that maybe has some parents nearby, or even if it's an adolescent by itself and you're just learning how to ambush, that's a totally legit and fair target. But if it's something sleeping or AFK or something like that, just go get an AI carcass. Speaking of the AI carcasses, most of us know, all of us probably, there's carcasses around the map. There's bones, there's burrows, there's salt rock. There's a lot of choices scattered all about. There's maps you can get online to tell you where these things are. So when I see these comments in Discord chat that says, sorry, baby Iggy that was laying down, sorry to kill you, I had no choice, I was starving. Don't put that in there. You're not fooling anybody with that kind of stuff. It's disingenuous, dishonest, and you're just kind of like, displaying your character for everybody when you put stuff like that in chat. Just say, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I could have went and got the carcass. And remember that for the next time, Put yourself in their shoes. If they can't defend themselves, just go get the bones, go get the salt rock or whatever. And then lastly, one of the things I actually saved the best for the last, that I enjoy the most, is playing with symbiotes. I love playing with the little Dinanis and the Latins, and it's really fun trying to figure out how they're communicating, because we can't be on chat together, so I have to try to figure out their in-game mannerisms and sounds and stuff to figure out what they're trying to communicate to me. I think that's so much fun. I find myself laughing out loud sometimes at their little antics and their behaviors and things, and I really enjoy it. It makes the Rex gameplay so much better. So thanks for everybody that does that for me in game. I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to put a couple of things here you can click on to go see some more Rex videos, and I'll put some links in the comments below. And I hope to see you guys out there in Gondwa. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.